it goes into, the whole movement. This, particular movement here, the Boxing Source, has started some time ago. It kind of like, branched off from, being, you know, starting off with articles, so to speak, on an independent sports website. And then, it just branched off from that, and a podcast was started, basically. But it was started as the Boxing Source radio show. And in May of 2015, that was when the Boxing Source radio show was started. And it is branched off to, what we have currently with the Boxing Source podcast, that has been weekly on Sundays, usually live through YouTube, or whatever is used for live. Now YouTube, Twitch, and also Rumble. But it was basically there as a weekly show for all the topics in the sport of boxing. But as it's been mentioned a few times before, through this has been, according to reports, the longest running boxing podcast in existence. And one thing that I've been working on is, of course, having it in audio form, so to speak, when it came to the Boxing Source podcast. But I had kind of slacked off on that for some time. But now, not only have I caught up to current form, but we have every single episode available. That's right, every single episode available on Spotify. So you could go on Spotify, look up the Boxing Source. You'll be able to check it out from the pilot episode in May of 2015 all the way up to now. So now longest running boxing podcast in existence, the Boxing Source. All right, hold on, y'all. We are trying to get this thing going on. What's going on? What's good? It's the midweek report. We are here live. What's going on with everybody here on YouTube and Rumble? Show your appreciation here, hitting the like button. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it here at the Boxing Source. It's the midweek report, December 18, 2024. Mr. 007 is here early on the midweek report. Chat, what's good with you? Man, we got a number of things here that we're going to be talking about on this particular midweek report. But we're going to try to get as in-depth as possible for this upcoming fight. Technically, it's not for the undisputed heavyweight championship, but we know that this is the fight between the number 1 and number 2 fighters in the heavyweight division, with Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. Oleksandr Usyk, of course, won the first bout between the two some months ago in what is, a strong candidate for Fight of the Year this year in 2024. He's able to get the decision over Tyson Fury to become the undisputed heavyweight champion. He is now getting into this bout on December 21st with a record of 22-0. That's right, undefeated 22-0. There against Tyson Fury, who is 34-1-1. Of course, Oleksandr Usyk is there as the former undisputed champion at cruiserweight, undisputed champion here at heavyweight at 37 years old, at 6'3" with a reach of 78. There from, the shoulder to the end of the fist, 78. You got Tyson Fury there at 36, height at 6'9", with a reach of 85. But as you've seen in the first bout, Tyson Fury didn't completely use that to his full advantage. Shout out to Trill Clinton in the building. He says decolonize. Hashtag decolonize oxtail prices. I'm telling you, decolonize oxtail prices. Hey, speaking of that, man, I got to see if I could go to this spot that's down the road from me this weekend and try their oxtail and see what is it about. I think it's about like $20 to $23 for for the oxtail plate. I'm gonna see if I can get on that. Yeah, but looking at this thing here to tell the tape, got these guys here, like I said, 37 years old and 36 years old respectively. Tyson Fury at 6'9", Oleksandr Usyk at 6'3". Of course, it didn't really matter to Oleksandr Usyk because he was able to get the win by a split decision on May 18th of this year. It took for, Manuel Oliver to score about 115, 112 there in favor of Oleksandr Usyk. Basically, that was, I guess, the difference there because, for some, it was basically an even bout. Mike Fitzgerald had it 114, 113 in favor of Oleksandr Usyk. That's 6 rounds to 6 with the knockdown that was scored on Tyson Fury. So that knockdown was the difference in that scorecard. Craig Metcalf basically scored it, 7 rounds to 5 or something like that? Yeah, 7 rounds to 5 in favor of Tyson Fury with the knockdown, 114, 113 Fury. So y'all saw how close it was in that first bout. But, for me, at least in that first one, what I expected was Tyson Fury to be the one to kind of like use his movement, use his height, use his reach, and dominate, jab, jab, move, jab, grab, move, all that type of stuff, like he was doing with the number of the fighters that he had fought before, like a Dylan White or a Derek Chisora or a Otto Wallin or something like that. Or even with a Deontay Wilder, even though Deontay Wilder was pretty much close to his height, pretty much around the same height, you've seen in those 2 fights, at least the last 2 fights, Tyson Fury uses, his speed, his jab, his movement to, get things moving there against Deontay Wilder in those 2 fights. But even in those 2, at least in the third fight, he got caught twice with knockdowns in the third fight. So it is what it is. Shout out Lord Freezes, man. What it do, man? What it do? Feel me? So even with that, you've seen Tyson Fury, kind of like have his moments where he slowed down in the first fight against Oleksandr Usyk, and you've seen there in round 8 and then culminating in round 9, where Oleksandr Usyk was able to get back into the bout with that knockdown in round 9 of their first fight. And I felt like, if it wasn't something there within Fury that kind of like had him be, not very active with his hands and have Oleksandr Usyk within range to land those shots. And in round 9, I'm telling you, he landed some serious shots on Tyson Fury. He landed some serious shots on Tyson Fury that, with Fury just stumbling and bumbling and rumbling and all over the place, he didn't go down to the canvas like pretty much like he had in the numerous times that he was put down to the canvas against Deontay Wilder multiple times, against against Steve Cunningham. He was down on the canvas against Nevin Padgett. So he's had multiple times where he has been floored, right? But that sequence there with Oleksandr Usyk in the 9th round, that was just something where he looked seriously hurt in that one. And now it's like, what will he do here in this particular bout to prevent that from happening again? At least for me in the first bout, those first couple of rounds, rounds 1 and 2, you see Tyson Fury kind of like try to do his little move and block and move his head and do that type of thing and move and have his back to the ropes and slip and slide and everything like that, like he was doing against Otto Wallin. But Oleksandr Usyk was sharper, much sharper than Otto Wallin there in those first 2 rounds. And I felt like Tyson Fury really just kind of succumbed those first 2 rounds. And that could have been a major difference there in that last fight. He dominated those middle rounds, dominated them, used that range, used the jab, made sure that Oleksandr Usyk wasn't able to get within range. But then that just stopped pretty much at the tail end of the fight. And for me, that is attributed to his endurance or his energy level or lack thereof in the second half of that particular bout. And that is, for me, the major question here for Tyson Fury. If this goes 7 rounds or more, will Fury have the energy left in order to finish off this particular bout? Because Oleksandr Usyk is returning to prove something. He's here to kind of like say, listen, I've been able to overcome obstacles here in the heavyweight division. You know, you had like what happened against Anthony Joshua in the first bout. You have here what's happening against Tyson Fury in the first bout. And he was able to get wins over both of these guys, both of them. Now, he's here to kind of like, you know, solidify himself as probably one of the greatest fighters of this generation, or probably the greatest fighter of this generation, by getting another win over Tyson Fury. Now, if he gets a win and gets a stoppage win over Tyson Fury, he might as well book it. He'd probably be the best fighter of this generation. You couldn't really put anybody over him. Couldn't put Ward over him. Couldn't put Canelo over him. Couldn't put Crawford over him. Nope. Couldn't do it. No. He gets this win over Tyson Fury, particularly if he gets a win by knockout, you might as well mail it in. You know, you probably say from at the very least from what, say about 2015 to now, 2015 to 2025 at the very least, right? But then you would have to like compare Oleksandr Usyk to other fighters within at least from 2000 to 2024 or whatever it is, or at least to like 1995 to 2025, because it's about to be 2025, right? So this is something where you feel like Oleksandr Usyk is just right there on the brink of like being one of those all-time greats. Yes, you have to put him in that conversation. Like I said, he did what he did at cruiserweight, was able to become undisputed champion at cruiserweight, was able to defend the cruiserweight championship at one point before moving up to heavyweight. You know, a lot of times when fighters become undisputed champions in particular weight classes, they are able, you know, to move up to the next division right after that. For Usyk, he didn't necessarily do that. He had one more fight there in that particular division and was able to get a win, TKO win over Tony Bellew, you know, before moving up to the heavyweight division. And you see what he's doing there at heavyweight. Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, Joshua Twice, Daniel Dubois, Tyson Fury. Now he has another fight here against Tyson Fury. And I'm seeing here that like it looks like they have Usyk favored. Now, you know, the odds were very close in the first fight. You were very close in the first fight, right? Now, you know, I'm trying to see what they got here as far as like what could be the overall odds. So I'm going to try to see here if I could pull them up, at least for the DraftKings run. I'm going to pull it up here for the DraftKings, see what they got going on. So they got Oleksandr Usyk at minus 150 and Tyson Fury at plus 120. That is, you know, real close odds still. Real close odds. 007, yeah. What you got is Derek Chisora in a bout against Otto Wallin, and that's going to be in February. You know, we have an interview with Otto Wallin that is available on the YouTube channel. The Last Dance, Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin there, and that's going to be February 8th. It's supposed to be scheduled for February 8th. So yeah, you got Derek Chisora that's going to be fighting. But yeah, those odds, man. Oleksandr Usyk at minus 150, Tyson Fury at plus one. Hey man, I ain't putting no bets on this thing here right now. Hold on, man. He trying to get me to bet on the fight. Come on, DraftKings can't do that. It says percentage of best place on DraftKings. 52% on Oleksandr Usyk and 48% on Tyson Fury. That shows you how close it is when it comes to the bettors, man. They are really under pretty much like split. Plus money on all outcomes. Usyk by KO, Fury by KO, Fury by decision, Usyk by decision. The lowest is Usyk by decision at plus 170. For the KO on either side, it's plus 300. So for Usyk by KO and for Fury by KO, it's plus 300 right now. Fury by decision is plus 350, and a draw is plus 1400. So that's the thing, man. So that just tells you how things are as far as like what's going on with the overall odds there for this particular fight. But as for me, I mean, I'm for Fury. Over the course of his career, or the majority of his career, he's been that either not necessarily a happy-go-lucky type of guy, but an overly confident man. What is it? No man born from one's mother that could beat me. That was like his saying or something like that up until this first Usyk fight, right? And then when this face off or whatever it is, he's talking about, you could have finished me, you rabbits, but you couldn't finish me. And he's still having all that type of stuff, but all that talk and everything like that, that usually gets over on a number of the opponents that Tyson Fury has. But Oleksandr Usyk is a different type of person. I mean, he's some say he's crazy, some say he's silly, somebody say he's weird, somebody say he's an entertainer and all that type of stuff. But he is not fazed by one iota of what Tyson Fury does outside of the ring, leading into the fight or anything like that. Usyk is just focused mainly on what is coming up on December 21st. And, I feel like, even with Fury's attributes and everything like that, I'm not sure like how he's going to be going into this particular fight in comparison to the first bout, because, he was up at like 277 pounds in this fight against Francis Ngannou, and we saw what happened in that particular bout, right? He got knocked down in that one, but in the first bout, he was at 262 pounds against Usyk. Now, will he be the same way, or will he kind of go up to around the 270s like he was against Deontay Wilder in the second and third bout? Because when he did that, he was pretty much saying like, I'm much bigger than you. I'm gonna just weigh you down, put my weight on you and all that type of stuff to weigh you down and take that energy off of you from early. Oh, he said, "Oh, you big dosa. You use a dosa. Usyk use a dosa. A sausage. Sausage is another one. No, that's crazy. A sausage, man. Sausage. Light skin Lou, what's happening with you, man? What's going on?" Laura Freezy says, Usyk round 3 KO. Man, if Oleksandr Usyk is able to get a KO or a stoppage victory within 6 rounds, man, that would be a crazy story there in boxing and in the heavyweight division. Oleksandr Usyk was able to have that type of performance where he would dominate Tyson Fury and get an early knockout over Tyson Fury. That would be something. That would really be something right there. But I feel like it's more about how Fury reacted to what happened in the first fight. I know he was talking about what he was talking about in the face-offs and the meetings, and then you're gonna have this press conference and all that type of stuff. But it's gonna be completely different in the ring. Like I was saying before, a number of times Tyson Fury has been able to try to get in the mind of his opponents, try to play mind games with his opponents. Can't do that with Oleksandr Usyk. Can't do it. So now what's going to be his quote unquote plan B in this particular instance? Or is he going to go in there and try to send a message early? You know, but I mean, we'll see. You know, uh, yeah, Dan. Oh man, it's listen. I was about to mention that undercard. Oh my God, yo, that undercard is just. I'm like, I said it earlier. I'm like, man, just being real. There isn't one fight on that undercard that I'm interested in. You know, really, like a lot of those fights look like mismatches to me or something, man. So I'm like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, what are we doing here? Wait a minute. I thought, wait, they got David Allen on the card. I thought that man retired. I thought David Allen retired. I don't know what's going on here. I thought, yeah, he did, man. Like, what's going on here? David Allen retired and he's on his card against Johnny Fisher. Oh my God, yo, oh goodness, man, rehab season. I'm telling you, yo, this undercard is crazy. Oh goodness, man, goodness gracious. But yeah, I'll get back on this thing with the main event before going on to this undercard. I did not know that they had David Allen on this card. That is crazy. He said maybe get a good fight in the crowd. I don't know, man. Yo, looking at that what was it, Golden Boy, the Golden Boy joint. There was about 50 people in the crowd for the Golden Boy joint. Now I know it's gonna be completely different because you have a rematch here with Fury and Usyk, and got a few other fighters that are part of this card that maybe attract some fight fans to get over there to Riyadh. But I don't know, like, yeah, that this the rest of this event is because just not good at all, man, not good at all. But yeah, back to this thing with Usyk and Fury. You know, like I said, with the odds, they're really close. At least on the thing with DraftKings, I said 52% of folks putting in on Usyk, 48 or percent of putting on Fury. The odds for the KO on either side are the same at plus 300, minus 1400 for a draw. They're really leaning towards Oleksandr Usyk for the decision in this one. Now, if it's a decision win for Usyk, solidifies him as the number one heavyweight, gives Tyson Fury another loss. And we really would have to figure out what would be next for Tyson Fury after that. Now, if it's a stoppage, I've said this before, if it's a stoppage like Lord Freeze is talking about, whether it's round 3 or round 8 or round 10, don't be surprised if Tyson Fury pretty much calls it a night or hangs up the gloves, because it's one thing to kind of like lose a decision or something like that, but to lose by knockout, and that'll be the first time that you've been knocked out or stopped. Shout out to Jack Reese. But that would be the first time that Tyson Fury would be knocked out. And at this particular point in his career, man, yeah, that would be something. That would be a real detriment to Tyson Fury, I would say, given the level of confidence that he has usually. So that would kind of have him be a real consideration to think about retirement, particularly after these 2 fights against Oleksandr Usyk, where he gets paid a handsome amount of money. Now, if Fury wins, oh my gosh, of course, we may not hear the end of it. Depending on the result, we could see a third fight between these 2 guys. Like I said, the first fight was Fight of the Year candidate. Could be a winner for Fight of the Year. If we have another close bout here in this one, and Fury ends up getting the decision, then we could see a third fight. And yeah, I know that Fury and Usyk and Turkey LLC kind of hinted that there might be a third fight in the works if Fury ends up getting a win or something like that. Who knows? But I just feel like it's a really competitive, close bout that'll pretty much go down to those last four rounds: ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. And we got to see the condition of Tyson Fury in those particular rounds. Will he still have enough in him to kind of like work the jab, move around, switch stances, all that type of stuff there to try to give Oleksandr Usyk different looks. But for me, it's all about Tyson Fury trying to keep Usyk out of the range where Usyk could do the work. Because that's to me what happened there, starting from round 8, and then in round 9 where Usyk ended up scoring a knockdown on Tyson Fury. So Fury just has to, well, at least for me, focus on what he was doing there from rounds 3 to round 7, and see if he could kind of like either up the ante with that, or just try to keep that pace and make it he could make it a sloppy fight if he wants to. I feel like he could make it a sloppy fight. If he makes it a sloppy fight, then it would be up to the referee to see if Fury will be able to continue to do that. But if the referee says, "Hey, you gotta slow down with all the grabbing and clutching the arms of Usyk and all that type of stuff," then you'll have to see what Fury would do after that, because then he would have to kind of like move around a little bit more. He would have to use that jab to keep the distance from Usyk a little bit more. And that could, use his energy there, and we'll see what happens in the later rounds for that. But I just feel like Usyk is just on something else, man. I'm telling you, on something else. Oh man, we got another one that says Usyk TKO here for Saturday's bout. Big Supreme has Usyk for a TKO. I have him by decision. But listen, if he does land a punch that stuns Tyson Fury in this fight, y'all might be onto something, because I feel like Usyk is going to make it to where he's more sharp when he lands those shots after stunning Tyson Fury. Because in that first one, he landed a few of them, but there were a number of other shots that he could have landed that could have floored Tyson Fury and would have had him hurt, really hurt. So, hey, if he gets that opportunity to stun Tyson Fury again, I feel like he could finish him. But it's just going to be something where we got to see how Tyson Fury reacts to this, to what happened in the first fight, and how we could kind of like register that once he steps in the ring here for the second bout. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be scheduled for around 6 p.m. Eastern time. You know how those Riyadh season cards are. They last 7, 8, 9 hours and all that type of stuff, man. 7, 8, 9 hours or whatever it is. You feel me? So probably be able to watch it, like I said, around 6 p.m. Eastern time or whatever it is. So we got to see how that goes, right? Yo, shout out to G5 Jeff TV in the building, man. He got Usyk by decision, man. Hey, man, folks on here on the chat, man. Haven't seen anyone picking Fury yet. Like I showed you the odds there on DraftKings, got like 52% to 48% in favor of Usyk. But right here in this chat, man, you got everybody here picking Usyk. So that's something right there. That's something. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this fight will turn out. This will kind of shape what's going to happen in the heavyweight division in 2025. Depending on the result, because at least for Oleksandr Usyk, for me, I think that he's kind of done what he wanted to accomplish in boxing, being the undisputed champion at cruiserweight and being the undisputed champion at heavyweight. And if he gets this win, he would have 2 wins over 2 of the fighters in the heavyweight division that kind of like were part of the heavyweight division from 2015 up until now, when Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And after that, it's like, what else is out there? You know, of course, you had that fight with Dubois that happened before. Now Dubois has a IBF title and has a fight coming up February 22nd against Joseph Parker. A rematch. You know, some people say, hey, if Dubois gets his win over Parker, then maybe they should, you know, strike up the thing for a rematch. But will Oleksandr Usyk be up for a rematch against Daniel Dubois? I don't know. Because one, I don't feel like, at least from a business standpoint, I don't feel like the money is there. And two, like he would have to, you know, have another one of those road trips or something like that. And I don't know if he's going to be up for it. Supreme says, I think Fury's chin is compromised. Well, hey, you had those fights against Deontay Wilder. Like I said, multiple knockdowns against a lot of opponents, even before Deontay Wilder. You know, you had the thing there with what does Oscar De La Hoya say? Steve USS Cunningham. Yeah, USS Cunningham. He got knocked down by Cunningham. I said Patch Kick got knocked down in that bout. He had that bout against John McDermott that people were talking about. And then, of course, what was it against Francis Ngannou, where after the fight, Francis Ngannou says, "You're a bad professor, motherfucker." So he got knocked down against Francis Ngannou too. So listen, I mean, hey, okay, Jeff. Okay, he says that Fury will get the decision in this one. Shout out to the debate. He says Tyson Fury's giant beard is legal. Well, I don't know, man. He might shave it if he has that now. He might shave it here before the fight because usually he'll have the decision if he wants to shave it or not. You know, so we'll see how that goes. It says Usyk wins. He got to see Zalei Zhang or Martin Bakole before he retires. Martin Bakole, man, ooh. Martin Bakole had that win over Jared Anderson, got the stoppage win, man. And I was hoping on February 22nd that Martin Bakole was going to fight Zalei Zhang, but couldn't really work out a deal. That's why you got Zhang versus Ige Cabello for that WBC interim belt. And we still got to figure out when Martin Bakole is supposed to be fighting. Who is it that they got down the line there? Like I thought that you would have had Bakole versus Zalei Zhang. Now you're gonna end up having Bakole versus Efe Ajagba, man. And I'm like, I don't know. Here's my question. Will Top Rank have Efe Ajagba in the ring there against Martin Bakole? They already had Jared Anderson there against Martin Bakole. Now you think they're going to have Efe Ajagba in there against Martin Bakole, man? I don't know. I don't know about all that, man. Comically, it says bravado and confidence. Yeah, as I mentioned, Fury still felt the need to grow a comically huge, thick beard to protect his chin from Usyk's power. Hey, maybe he isn't going to shave that beard come before the fight on the 21st, man. Mere fact, he did that. It shows his true confidence level in the fight and in his chin. Man, hey, that I'm telling you that this is going to be something, man. Because, like I said, in that first bout, Usyk, once he caught him with that first punch there in the 9th round and had Fury stumbling, a number of punches either landed or didn't land before Fury finally stumbled and got slumped on the ropes there. But like if Usyk landed a few more of those shots, he would have had Fury down, and Fury would have been in real trouble. Either he wouldn't have got up from that, or if he did, then Usyk would have went for it. But I forgot if it was like real close to the end of that ninth round. But I know that Fury was on spaghetti legs for sure in the ninth round. So we got to see how Fury approaches this bout. At least for me, from the jump, if he gets in there and he either shows his reach advantage and everything like that, like he did in the middle part of the first bout, that's one thing. Or if he's gonna have more weight in this rematch in comparison to the first fight to try to wear down Oleksandr Usyk, like if he's at over 270 pounds for this rematch, we'll see. Man, yeah, shout out Matt Gomez, man. He said solving Usyk is like trying to solve a Rubik's cube. Yeah. I know, but I know some folks that could, do the whole thing with the Rubik's cube and be done with it in like a few seconds. But Oleksandr Usyk is much more than that, man. Like, actually, to be honest with you, Oleksandr Usyk is the Matrix. Yeah, I said it. I said it. He's the guy. Wait, I put it the wrong way. He's the guy this guy right over here that's in this thing in the end of this box that I'm at. He's the guy that should have got all the accolades and the praise from the jump from that country. I'm just saying. And now here he is, a few days away from potentially proven to be one of the greatest fighters of this generation, depending on what you would say constitutes as a generation, whether it's 20 years or 25 years, because you can have 1999, 2000 up until now, or 2004, 2005 up until now. You got to put Oleksandr Usyk up there. Got to put him up there. So, and at least here from this recent one, what he's done. I mean, come on, man, come on. Gotta have it like that. Gotta have it like that. All right. Logan Paul versus Conor McGregor in India. Man, I hope not. All right. So that is the main event at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on December 21st. Yeah, but this on the card, man. Oh my God. All right, we're gonna go with the co-feature, man. Yeah, we got the Debbie Downer there with a co-feature. We're supposed to have Sorry Chuck versus Israel Madrimov, and apparently Israel Madrimov got an illness. But this is the same Israel Madrimov that's still going to be scheduled to face Virgil Ortiz Jr. on February 22nd. But he had something with an illness a few weeks before his scheduled bouts against Sergey Bohachuk. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Sergey Bohachuk still on the card, and he will fight the replacement guy for this year in Ismail Davis. Ismail Davis was a replacement opponent for Josh Kelly there, as Josh Kelly was scheduled to fight Liam Smith there on September 21st in Wembley Stadium. But Liam Smith didn't make that one, so enter in Ismail Davis. And Ismail Davis, as they say, gave it a go, but ended up losing by majority decision in that bout. Now he's in here against Sergey Bohachuk, who recently lost to Virgil Ortiz Jr. That was on August 10th, where a number of folks said that Bohachuk should have had the win, but didn't necessarily happen that way. Now you got Bohachuk still trying to get back in the mix. They have the 154-pound division here against Ismail Davis. And I think the overall skill level and movement of Boachuk here might be way too much for Ismail Davis in that bout. And I got Boachuk with the win. Got Boachuk with the win, man. They said fourth AI judge. No, they said it wasn't gonna count. That AI thing. So we got that. All right. So we're gonna have one participant here to talk about this Usyk versus Fury rematch coming up. And then I'm going to see here what we got. 8, 11. And I'm going to see here about 8:20 or 8:25. They open up the phone lines. If y'all want to talk about, Usyk versus Fury and all that type of stuff, we're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to try this phone line thing here because I got something else that I wanted to implement. Trying to get the people, to interact here on the Boxing Source Midweek Report. Bronze Man in the building. You got D in the building here. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for my guy here to be able to jump on here, whatnot. I think Boxing Academic is about to join in here to chop it up about this upcoming fight with Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. So we're gonna hear from him here in a little bit. But yeah, I was talking about this thing here with this undercard, man. I talked about that co-feature bout. What they got, like Isaac Lowe versus Lee McGregor in featherweight division. You got Moses Atama versus Dempsey McKean. Moses Atama, man, I think he's gonna, man, that might be an easy night for Moses Atama in that one. You got, as I mentioned there, Johnny Fisher versus David Allen. Like I said, I could have sworn that David Allen was retired, and he was, and then he came back and had a couple of fights. So yeah, and then also you're gonna have Muhammad Alakel in the super featherweight division in his second pro bout against Joshua Ocampo there in the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh. So he will have another bout there in Riyadh. You feel me? All right, my guy, the Box Academic is in the building. What's happening with you?
What's up, JR? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Got you, man. Got you all good.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. Hey, you were able to catch up, last week or whatever it is, man. You know what's going on around there and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Don't clown me in front of the world now.
Oh no. That ain't gonna happen.
Okay, I know you be talking about me and stuff. So
No, that's Matt. Matt does that. I don't.
okay, you be joining in sometime.
Come on, man. Oh goodness, yo. All right, so yeah, we got that this rematch. Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury. Had like a couple keys to the bout for each fighter. I'm leaning towards Usyk for the decision win on this. It's kind of it's fairly even odds in the DraftKings and whatnot. So they feel like it's going to be another close bout, like the first one was. Well, how do you feel about it?
Well, I don't think you might agree with me on this, but I think Fury understands that he has to take the bout serious. Meaning that even if he does get up, even if he does, like if he has Usyk in the position that he had him last time, I don't care what he's thinking or what he's not thinking. He cannot let up off the gas. He has to take him serious, and he got to get Usyk, questioning himself similarly to how he did before. And once he do that, he should try to step on the gas. Obviously, we've seen that Usyk obviously has the better win. I mean, that's easy to see. We see Usyk. Take this with a grain of salt. I was gonna say is the mentally stronger fighter, but take that with a grain of salt. Usyk is the more. I don't mean it like that because Tyson Fury is a mentally strong fighter too. In order for him to get up and keep fighting and not to give up and stuff, but he's the more. You know how the tortoise and the hare, and the tortoise like keep going even though like the odds are against him. Whatever that word is, Usyk has more of that because when Usyk was essentially out of the fight, he never stopped trying. He kept trying to, do his offense, which was, I'm gonna keep throwing shots, and nothing is landing, but hopefully something does land, and then eventually something landed big.
Yeah.
Eventually he hurt Tyson Fury, and then Tyson Fury was on the back foot for a lot of the second half of the fight. And so, Fury has to use his reach. Fury has to keep making Usyk reset, get past those landmines of, like that 80-inch reach or however long his reach is, and just make Usyk have to extend himself, overextend himself, make Usyk have to jump in, and then catch him with shots like he did in the first fight. But he has to take him serious. He got to get Usyk questioning himself. He got to get Usyk mind, like in a place to where he like, can I do this? And then he has to get Usyk like with the body shots and just, essentially he got to do what he did the first half and do it better and not like have a lapse, because that was his fight to lose. Not like I ain't saying he gave the fight up, because Usyk kept trying and Usyk won the fight, but Tyson Fury lost the fight more than Usyk won the fight. I'm not saying Usyk didn't take it by the reins, because Usyk definitely won the fight, but Tyson Fury lost the fight by his lack of seriousness.
And
he
that
caught
was,
up with him.
yeah, and that was one of the things that I kind of like had after the first fight, and that's why I put out the title, was that did Fury basically, blow his chance to become undisputed champion? Because in those first couple of rounds, you see Fury kind of lollygagging and sticking his tongue out and saying and moving around and playing around and not really, doing much on offense. And I felt like he pretty much like forfeited those first two rounds against Oleksandr Usyk in the first bout. So here,
No, JR. I think I gotta look at my scorecard, but I'm driving.
okay, yeah,
But I think he had the first half like firmly in his grasp up until the point where he had Usyk hurt and like reeling. Like I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that. I gotta look at my scorecard.
okay, yeah. I mean, the thing was, after like the first 6 rounds, yeah, you could say Fury was well ahead, or at the very least, like 2 rounds ahead. Like you could score 4 rounds to 2 for Tyson Fury, and I would be like, yeah, I would kind of see it the same way. It's just that you had, as you said, Usyk pretty much quote unquote on the ropes, and you see there around like 7 or around 8 where Usyk was in his corner and he was kind of like getting the oxygen and all that type of stuff, trying to get himself going once again, and then was able to get to Tyson Fury there pretty much at the end of round 8, and then round 9 kind of like changed everything in that fight.
Is that legal?
The thing with the oxygen or whatever they had, I think it was kind of illegal. I have to check what the commission was for that particular fight, but hey, they didn't really have any complaints about it.
That's crazy. Somebody can get oxygen in the middle of a fight game.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting though, but they have the British Boxing Board of Control that's able to kind of like sanction these fights in the fight card. They're over in Saudi Arabia. I mean, that's something there, I guess, because maybe the Saudi Arabia doesn't have a boxing commission. So hey, that what it was. Oh yeah. I mean, I know he was like kissing his cross that he had on or something, but I thought he had something else there that kind of trying to help get his win back or something like that. But some folks thought it was like a illegal substance or something. I'm like, nah. I don't think so. But yeah, I agree with you that Tyson Fury definitely has to take this fight seriously here for this particular rematch, and he has to start right at round 1. No, like I said, no thing where he's trying to dodge a lot of punches or be on his back foot or be in the ropes and try to do the same thing that he did against Otto Wallin in their fight. Nah, he got to establish himself right from the get-go. And if he does that, then he could have the opportunity to where he says, you know what, I could have, full control of what's going on in the ring. And then Oleksandr Usyk would have to adapt to me at all times. And he wouldn't have that opportunity to try to get to me. So I felt like, that's what Tyson Fury has to do in this particular bout. But I'm just not too confident in where Fury is right now in his professional career. I think all of these fights have gotten to him, And Dirt Debate says, greedy belly, man. Greedy belly. Yeah, man. So that's the thing, man. Okay. It's about a little bit after 8 o'clock, man. I'm gonna try something right here. Let me see here what we got. We got the text here. Yeah, so we got, this thing going on. So I'm gonna try to open up the phone lines on this joint here. I don't know if anyone has something there where they could try to go ahead and chime in on this main event coming up on the 21st with Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury. You can call in there. You see the numbers there, 571-449-7217 or 571-470-3323. You know what I'm saying? Because we're also going to be talking about, this whole thing with David Benavidez and David Morrell Jr., because I'm telling you, that is an absolute rivalry. That's an absolute rivalry right there. Yeah, Saudi has no commission. Yeah, man. I mean, they got to have no commission, man. Yeah, so that's why he had the British Boxing Board of Control on the joint there. But but yeah, that's gonna be a great fight. Like I said, it should be scheduled around 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know if it's gonna be like 2 a.m. over there in Saudi or whatever it is. It says snowing in Saudi Arabia. Oh snap! It's thinking, well, at least it's in their Kingdom Arena. But no, man, it's like snowing out there. That would be insane, boy. That would be insane. What if they?
It's outside.
No. Kingdom Arena. It should be that. There should be indoor venue there, man. So that it would be really crazy. But it looks like I don't think so, man. It says, well, it got to be somewhere else in Saudi Arabia because over in Riyadh they say it's around 70 degrees during the day. So we'll have to see how it goes. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to say was, and in Tyson Fury being serious, it has to start with his jab.
Mm-hmm.
He gotta keep walking Usyk into landmines. Like people gonna hate him, and they're gonna. Well, I don't think Usyk is gonna make the fight. Usyk is gonna make the fight exciting, and Tyson Fury needs to walk him into shots.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury can do the little uppercuts and all the stuff that he want to do, but just make Usyk run into shots. Make Usyk have to overextend himself, and then you hit him with whatever shot that's there. And that's the simple recipe for him to win the fight, which is what he was using last time. Mm-hmm. Until he got tired and, started playing around. And part of it, too, was him getting tired. He started trying to clown to take up space from him getting tired.
Yeah.
Or feel time is a better way to say that.
Exactly. And that's why I had that as a main concern there for Tyson Fury is what is his energy level going to be there in those 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds. That would be the key here in the fight because, even with that, he still almost won the fight. It was a split decision. He almost won the fight still. So that's the thing about it. Let's go to
Did he get knocked down twice?
No, he got knocked down once in that bout.
Oh, once.
Yeah,
Mike. Thank you.
Yeah, Talk Trends there says Fury is trying too hard. There he says he looks lost. Man, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see what happens here in this rematch.
What do you mean you look lost?
I guess as far as like what to do to try to have a I don't know, maybe a dominant performance against Oleksandr Usyk or something.
Is that realistic to have a dominant performance against Usyk?
Well, of course, we have never seen it, and I don't know how that could, basically happen unless, like I said, someone like a Fury can like establish, what's going on. You know.
I mean, Usyk is destined to win the later rounds. As long as Usyk is not hurt and is not like concussed and like that,
Mm-hmm.
Usyk is you should bet on Usyk winning the late rounds, which means Fury need to win as many as the early rounds as he can, and then coast and like yeah, people are going to be like, Usyk might win the fan vote because he'll be the last thought in people's mind. But Fury need to win as many of them early rounds as possible, and then just get one or two of them late rounds, and that's how he wins the fight.
Yeah. It got what Trez Bates says that who is it? Mark Nelson saved Fury from getting knocked out. We'll see who they're gonna have as the referee here for this rematch. I haven't seen any news on who the referee is going to be and the judges are going to be there or something like that. so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that
Wasn't the other referee? Didn't he kept doing something in the fight or something that made it interesting? What was it that was interesting about the fight? I'm gonna watch the fight before Saturday, but wasn't there something going on with the referee that made it favor Usyk in a bit? What do you remember what I'm talking about, or was that a different fight?
I don't know. I don't think it was this fight here with Mark Nelson or something like that. Maybe it was something from another fight that he had, I guess. You know,
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
no, because it was Luis Pabode is who they talk about with Oleksandr Usyk because Luis Pabode is a referee that was there for that Daniel Dubois fight where Dubois hit him, right there in the belt line that put Usyk down to the canvas, but Pabode immediately ruled that as a low blow.
Okay, I think I know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking of when the referee stopped Usyk from the last punch, even though Usyk didn't take the punch. Usyk protected Fury
Mm.
because he could have took the shot. Right, the referee
Yeah,
got there,
yeah,
but he got there like a second too late.
yeah. Yeah, that part was like the Martin Nelson joint there. But I was saying like there were a few shots that Usyk could have landed on there before Fury stumbled to the ropes and to the corner there that could have really floored Fury and could have had him in some real trouble there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, we got a Ring Walk Boxing podcast there, man. Of course, we got a YouTube thing going himself there too, man. Like I said, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. There on YouTube or on Rumble, and we'll see. We'll be able to get some more content here for you on the Boxing Source. You feel me? We said the boy hit the cup first. Hey, they said that's what they ruled or whatever it is. Hey, but like I always say, whether it was, at the belt or below the belt, Daniel Dubois still had, I feel, the opportunity to finish off Tyson Fury, and he didn't do that. So here's what it is on that front. Now,
So I got a
all
question.
right, yeah,
I
one more,
remember Fury. Say what?
yeah, one more that you were talking about here before I go into this thing here with the Davids. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I remember Fury hitting Usyk to the body and hurting him at some point. Should that be a game plan of Fury? Like when he's in the clinch with Usyk, or is he too tall to like make that a active game plan?
He might be a little bit too tall to make that the game plan, but what he could do is he could try to implement what Joshua was doing with Usyk in the second fight. Is when he's there, at full range or at mid range, go to the body. Just tap to the body, tap to the body. Work and mix things up to the body. Jab down, stab jab. So you could mix those things up there to really try to wear down Oleksandr Usyk so that he may not have as much energy there in those late rounds to try to make that final push to win the fight. We gotta see
Because
how
he
that
definitely gonna hit Fury in the body.
goes. Yeah, that's also too. Yeah, yeah, my guy there, man. He says, "Hey, Usyk was they saving grace from Furious on the ropes. Gonna finish him off like Ray Mercer did Tommy Morrison." Yeah, yep, that's true. That is true. Because that was like one of the more gruesome stoppages there in boxing there with Ray Mercer. Yeah, he was definitely merciless there on that one, man. Shout out to brother Eugene on that one, man. He says, Mike Tyson doesn't stop for the ref. Hey, listen, man. Of course I'm gonna stop for the ref. Why would I stop for the ref? Ref can't stop me. The opponents can't stop me. I'm the baddest man on the planet. All right, so David Benavidez, David Morrell, scheduled for February 1st, Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. They got some versions of a world title thing on the line, but we know that Artur Beterbiev is the undisputed champion at light heavyweight. So WBC and WBA money, they get money. All right, so there's that. Now there was a media workout today in Miami. So apparently this particular workout was at a gym in Miami that David Benavidez frequents when he, prepares for fights. So for some interesting reason, they made a plan to have both David Benavidez and David Morrell Jr. Have their workout in the same venue. I'm gonna see here if I could get something that kind of like hey man, you got something going on at SOS, man. Well, what's happening over there?
Oh, that's my automatic lane
Oh
switch
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah. Let me see, man. Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be David Benavidez there, just having a workout, a media workout in Miami, but they had like both of them now. And I'm like, oh man, like we already know that both of those guys don't really like each other. We seen that in the initial press conference, man. And then, okay, we had this thing with the workout. David Morrell's out there first. He's doing his thing. He has his family there, his brothers there, all that type of stuff. And I think he may have had his son out there in the background or something like that. And he's done. He's done with the workout. He does the interview or talks with the reporter that's there or whatnot. And then they had David Benavidez going in there. David Benavidez is walking in with his entourage. Has his wife, probably his brothers there, of course, his father there, his trainer. He has his manager or something like that, promoter. And then he steps in the ring while David Morrell is in the ring. And when he steps in there, he offers his right hand. We'll see if David Morrell will shake his right hand. David Morrell didn't have none of that. And then they go ahead and they start talking trash and everything. David Benavidez pushes David Morrell, and then all hell breaks loose on that in the ring. And then David Morrell ends up throwing his WBA title right at David Benavidez. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? And instead of just having this whole thing be like broken up and all that type of stuff, and then you would just have, I guess David Benavidez commenced to having this workout. No, they end up having a press conference before David Benavidez has his workout. And oh my gosh, it took almost like 20 to 30 minutes for that thing to happen. And then when they were talking, they got a whole bunch of back and forth. David Benavidez talk about David Morrell. He ain't really that much. He ain't really nothing. He ain't done much in the sport, so he really isn't that much of competition for him. He's gonna finish him. He's gonna show that he really is nothing. And David Morrell Jr. talking about David Benavidez is RoboCop. Boop 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 boop. And then David Benavidez commenced to talk about questioning David Morrell and his manager, Louis the Cubist Sr., of not having testing for his fights. And that's what had Louis the Cubist Sr. go off. And in that particular instance, I'm like, maybe the Cubist Sr. may have a point in a sense, because David Morrell Jr. was at super middleweight and was a WBA, as they say, regular champion at super middleweight. The World Boxing Association has a fair boxing program, which is similar to the WBC's clean boxing program, where the champions and everyone ranked in the top 15 have to register in that program and be tested by VADA in order to stay in the top 15 of those rankings. So for David Benavidez to kind of bring that up, that kind of was really weird to me. And on the other foot was, this is the same David Benavidez that was working with Memo Heredia, who is really noted to be a fairly notorious figure in the sport of boxing. So I thought that was very interesting on that part. But once it was all said and done, once all that whole thing with the press conference was over, David Benavidez ended up going to workout. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm telling you, this fight is going to be crazy. I'm doing my best to promote this fight, because I'm telling you, this is going to be a fight, not anything. Well, y'all talk about, oh, it's a boxing match and the sweet science and all that type of stuff. Yeah, you can have those moments of the sweet science and good technical boxing, or something like, like we had with the world undisputed title fight between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. That was, pretty good mix of skill and power and strength and all that type of stuff. But here in this one, I'm highly confident that this is going to be a fight. These two are going to go at it. It's going to be crazy. It's not going 12 rounds. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not. Like, the odds for a decision in this fight should be at plus 3,000, because I feel like somebody's getting stopped on February 1st. And I can't wait. So, Boxing Academic, I don't know if you were able to get any. I probably showed like a clip or two there, reference to that press conference thing. But yeah, these two guys here, the heavyweight, light heavyweight division, I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy for sure.
Yeah, I definitely saw the belt toss and the push, and his son been in the ring. I don't know what to make of that. I don't have a lot of feelings on that, and I may very well, when I get time, just watch a few of David Morrell's fights a little bit more intently to have an opinion either way, because I've watched David Morrell's fights, but I've watched David Benavidez fights with the critical eye, in a sense. So I know sort of his tendencies, but I can't say the same thing of David Morrell. Mm-hmm. So I would like to watch, a few of his biggest fights and see his tendencies and just sort of see how I think the Florida fight will go. But obviously, the way that they both are touted, and just me knowing David Morrell's skill, it should be definitely a good fight, because I know he's one of the top guys. So we should get us a good fight.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Now,
you talk to his coach every day. What does he say? What does he think how he think his fighter gonna do? Obviously he think his fighter gonna win, but
yeah, and it's gonna be. He says like Morrell is like traded like none other for this fight, and I feel like that's the case, because it looks like David Morrell Jr. has been waiting for this fight since both of these guys were at super middleweight. The thing is that both parties have mentioned that they were initially making this fight to happen when David Morrell Jr. was around like 4-0 in the professional ranks. Now he's like, been in the amateurs from like 2012 to 2018. So he's had a fairly extensive amateur career. So that's why when he initially started his pro career, he only had like one fight against um, a guy that was like 2-6. And then after that, a few fights later, like he fought for a minor version of a WBA title within his third pro fight. So it's like that kind of like says like what they kind of like felt where David Morrell Jr. was in his pro career when he's able to fight for a version of a minor title like a Continental America's title or something like that within his third pro fight or something. I'm gonna try to see if I could if they got this thing here. Yeah. So in his third pro fight against Lennox Allen, he won the interim WBA title at super middleweight in his third pro fight. And was able to become the, as they say, the regular champion at super middleweight within his fifth pro fight and defended that particular belt up until he moved up to light heavyweight. So he's fought guys while defending this WBA title, multiple times. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And going up against guys that were like 16-0, 28-2, 20 what did I say? 28, 2-1, that type of thing. So he's fought guys that had like about 30 fights or 20, 25 pro fights, while he's only like 5-0, 6-0. So he's like saying here with this fight against David Benavidez is like, hey, I'm ready for this opportunity against David Benavidez, and I've been waiting for this when I was at super middleweight. So as far as like fights to kind of like watch out for, at least for on the side for David Morrell Jr., I would say the fight against Alante Fox. Of course, people know about his fight against Ido Yabasanuli, where Yabasanuli was really, really, really beat up. And that could have been really bad for Yabasanuli in that one, because he was hospitalized for a good amount of time there after that bout. And I would say, maybe the Lennox Allen fight, because a lot of people they want to point to David Morrell's fight against Hot Rod or Radovic Kalajic, his last bout that was on the August 3rd card in Los Angeles, where he won by unanimous decision. It was, a bout where he won like 9 or 10 rounds in that fight. But I guess they felt like Kalajic was supposed to be somebody that he was supposed to knock out. Kalajic is a very solid fighter there within the 175-pound division. So I would say like y'all could probably point to that fight. Actually, that fight is available on YouTube through Riyadh Season, I think it is, or no, through Turkey LLC's YouTube page. He has that full card on August 3rd that's available on YouTube, so you'll be able to find that fight between David Morrell Jr. and Radovic Kalajic on that particular YouTube page. And for David Benavidez, he had his last bout against Oleksandr Kovacic. Was able to have a unanimous decision win in that one, where he was working a little bit on his offense and his defense there in that bout. But for me, the fight that stands out to me, of course, is his fight against Caleb Plant last year, because he, worked through what was happening in the first half of that fight. Caleb Plant was, doing a little bit of boxing, doing a little bit of holding. And then, Kenny Bayless kind of said, you know what, you can't necessarily do it that much there in the second half of the bout. And then you see, David Benavidez kind of, step it up there in the second half of the bout and almost got a stoppage win over Caleb Plant there in March of last year. So, those two bouts are, two bouts to kind of like look for. It may be possible that I might do an analysis of these bouts, but it's probably going to be exclusive to Rumble. We'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna see about doing that here in these next couple of weeks because we're about less than 2 months away from this bout, coming up. So I'm going to see about doing a in-depth analysis of these fights, a couple of fights for both of those fighters leading into their bout that's coming up on February 1st. So that's gonna be good. See if I'll have a couple folks here to join in on me with that. But that fight is going to be awesome there at T-Mobile Arena. Like I said, tickets are available for that particular bout or the particular fight card there at T-Mobile Arena. Y'all get your tickets, man. I'm telling you that's going to be a fight. That rematch between Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton's going to be on that card. You're going to have Usyk Cruz is going to be featured on there. And you're going to have a Jesus Ramos is going to be featured on that card. So you're going to have, some good fights and some feature guys here, at least initially, for this February 1st card that's coming up. So, but that main event is definitely going to be something for y'all to enjoy, whether you're going to be there at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas or watching on pay-per-view, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, that's what I got on that. I know, like I said, I'll be talking with Coach Ronnie Shields. There, we'll see about when the next time I'll be able to talk with Coach Ronnie here. It should be probably next month, and get a little bit more on what's going on with at least that particular bout. They're upcoming, but I'm really excited for that bout, man. But that's what I had on that there, Boxing Academic. Anything more from you on Benavidez and Morrell?
No, nothing for me.
All right, gotcha.
I'm actually about to drop off, brother. I'm having car trouble, so I'm about to drop off.
All right, gotcha, man, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So yeah, no doubt. So yeah, that's what I got in reference to that bout in that fight card coming up February 1st. Like I said, man. I mean, you have like I said, I thought I opened up the thing for the phone lines out here. I mean, you got a number of folks here that's kind of scared to jump on here, kind of like chop it up in reference to, like I said, this upcoming bout between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury, and reaction here to this, at least that whatever they did for that workout in the press conference yesterday with David Benavidez and David Morrell. I mean, that's just crazy. And the funny thing is like when this bout was was announced, you have a father and a son that's involved in making a fight happen, and Luis Cubas Sr. and Luis Cubas Jr. So, oh man, and that's why I was like really tripping when I saw Luis Cubas Sr. go crazy there when David Benavidez made that comment about drug testing. So I'm telling you, man, that fight week, oof, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. I'm telling you. So yeah. I don't know, man. You know what? David Morrell should have a comment, but I don't think he would do it. I mean, well, you know what? David Morrell probably would do it, but I don't think he's gonna actually say it. This is kind of similar to what another fighter said that's going to be involved in another big bout that's later on in 2025. But I don't think he needs to do that for this fight. They already kind of like stepped over what needs to be stepped over there, for this upcoming bout. But with that being said, that's it for me here for this midweek report. Big thanks for everyone that's joined in live here to watch. You can go ahead and watch the replay if you kind of caught us late. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button here to support the Boxing Source. And we'll be back at it here for the Boxing Source podcast. It's scheduled for Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be on YouTube and on Rumble. And like I said, I'm going to see about doing that fight analysis for both David Benavidez and David Morrell Jr. probably sometime next month. I'll probably schedule something like that. He said, thanks for like pro box. And you know, the thing about it is, it's like, man, I ain't really, caught up too much on that, man. So yeah, they what was it? Yeah, they haven't had anything since the 11th, right? So that's the thing, man. I haven't seen much there from since December 11th. So I think they had, they had traveled, for what is it, a couple of bouts and things like that. So outside of that, we really haven't seen much there from Pro Box here. So I got to see what they got planned for 2025 because it looks like they're gearing for 2025 there. Shout out to Jake Pylon there, in the building. I catching this last part of the Boxing Source Midweek Report. But yeah, like I said, I am wrapping this up. Once again, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you're catching the replay, you can comment on what's going on, who y'all got for Usyk versus Fury, and the whole thing there. Like I said, with Benavidez and Morrell, like I said, it's crazy. So looking forward to that fight on February 1st. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. So with that being said, y'all, I'm out. Peace.